Hey everyone, Mike Doloff, Chief Revenue Officer, Inflow Communications. I have with me my colleague, Chris Riccio. Chris, say hello.
Hey, thanks for tuning in, everyone.
Yep, it's good to be on talking with you about bots in the contact center. And today we're going to be talking about bots in the Genesys Cloud contact center. Chris, let's dive right into this topic. I'm excited to hear what your thoughts are. But give everyone first some context. How does Genesys Cloud approach bots?
Yeah, so this is really exciting for me. I got my hands on their bot about a month ago, and they're hitting all my checklist items. The way they approach bots as a fully integrated structure into the contact center. Everything is interlaced with the backbone of the contact center as an integral part of the bot processing. So I think a lot of times folks think of bots as this one-dimensional isolated thing. Genesys doesn't approach it that way at all. We know at some point your customer is going to, or if they run into certain events, we'll call them errors, or where the bot can't understand what they're asking for, we need to opt out to a representative in the contact center. I think they do this exceptionally well.
I see that as one of the biggest friction points with bots.
Mm.
So it's awesome to hear that they've done that part really well and focused on it. So second question, what makes Genesys bot technology so attractive and flexible in your opinion?
So one, it's integrated with the contact center. So think about your contact center and the contact center in general. You have your IVR process. You might be doing some data dips before it goes on its way, sending an interaction, a customer inquiry into the contact center or to wherever, right? Part of those IVR processes likely you're doing extensive data dips and you have heavy integration elsewhere. Well, the game changer for me in Genesys bots is that because you already have that infrastructure, that's juicy infrastructure in the contact center, the bots just leans on all of that. So now I don't have to build a separate web service for my bot to engage. It's already there. It's also contact center agent aware. I don't have to see if someone's available because it's already there. It knows what it can do and where it can send the conversation. And probably the biggest piece for customer engagement and the experience for your customer is if I'm in a bot, I run into some sort of bottleneck where the bot doesn't understand me. As soon as that bot opts out to an agent, to a representative, the entire dialogue of that bot also goes. So now your representative isn't getting a blind transfer. They can see the context in which that customer got to them. Other things that I like about the Genesys bot, it's super easy to administer. There are absolutely no special skills. When it comes to setting up the dialogue, you just type in your question. It's things we do every day. Any average Joe could type it and think logically, well, if I type this question, what might my answers be? So it's super easy in that way. There's also the ability to have ongoing administration. The bot will present, hey, based on this question, here's how I predicted what the person was asking for. And you can actually physically go in and confirm, yes, you're correct, yes, you're correct. The ability to see communication directly from the AI engine lets you as a human override or confirm exactly this is where we're going. So that's super easy. I love that exposure. And it also reports back to you. It'll show you, hey, our bot is hitting 100% accuracy or 90% accuracy, and you can fine tune that based on your settings. So having that human intervention piece is critical. And that's usually the rub for most contact centers when they think about a bot. Oh, it's highly technical. Oh, wait, it's really cumbersome. It's absolutely not. The last piece of what Genesys does is you have user-defined control management, meaning I can tell the bot at what threshold do I ask the confirming question, such as, well, my bot's about 30% right, so I'm going to tell it to ask this question, hey, did you mean this, to get further confirmation. The fact that I can slide that, only ask the confirming question at 70% accuracy or 20% accuracy means you can highly fine tune it. The other piece is it has built-in reporting that gives you the ability to see my opt-outs and what's actually happening. But the last piece, and I think this is the most critical piece, I can set an error threshold to 1 to 5, meaning if I've asked the question 5 times and the customer is still saying no, 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 opt out to rep. Of course, I set my bots to be very sensitive. Once or twice I can't answer you, go to representative, because that's the frustration. And every business is different. So I have explicit control over that frustration threshold. I'll just call it out. It's a frustration threshold control mechanism.
I love it. I think that reminds me of sort of this conversation around hybrid bots, right, Chris, where it's really sort of human interactions augmented by bots to take on some of that lower level, more repeatable options, but without making friction in the customer's journey here. I love it. So last question here. I think this is a good segue into our next topic too. How does bot technology play into the bigger customer engagement process? That's a big question. Try to distill that down.
So you you said the magic word, hybrid. I think people think of the bots in the context of, hey, it's this thing living on an island. Destroy that. When you think about a bot and then you think about the contact center, think about what's the best way to do it. Let me give you a quick example. Texting. Texting is the de facto, how do I reach out to my customer? And from a customer engagement strategy, what's the number one rule? Customer engagement, everyone talks about this big old esoteric thing. It comes down to one thing. Customer engagement is making it easy for my customer to reach me, touch me, get information, end of discussion. If you build your philosophical approach around just that, now change how you use your bot. Do an outbound campaign with texting, but within the context of that text, have a phone number, which will automatically convert it to a quick dialable option. Click, I'm on the phone with your representative, or send a link in that context to a web chat, because everyone likes to communicate in their own style. So now in a text, I've offered 2 ways to make it easy to reach me. Third, add keywords that do other exceptional things, such as respond with CB for a callback. That means it queues up an agent, immediately catches them, and calls the customer. Or if I need to send the client to a specific location in the contact center, type the word nurse to bypass the entire system, get right to a nurse if you're in healthcare. Things like that completely change the game, because not are you just sending a one-dimensional option to your client, you're giving them a choice. And anytime you give your client a choice, you completely change the customer engagement strategy. Now, I have a lot to say about customer engagement strategies and bots, but hybrid, I don't know why people aren't seeing it. The writing's on the wall. Let's hybrid that. Let's create a very strategic customer experience, customer engagement. Because again, the de facto is make it easy, let the customer choose their flavor.
Love it. It's a great tee up for our next episode where we'll dive deeper into, but hybrid, that ability to, it's not an either or proposition with bots in the contact center. How do you blend those two? How do you blend those two to help your customer engagement and interactions? Thanks so much, Chris, for the insight.
Sure.
I look forward to, I think, a video here too, seeing some of the Genesys bot technology in action, showing some of those folks that as well. So thanks for tuning in, everyone. Have a great rest of your day, and we'll see you on the next episode.